All right, good evening, everyone. So, working on our own site this evening, working on lawnpromarketing.com. Interesting because we were doing a comparison looking at our competitors out there and made a discovery. For those of you that are watching us on YouTube, thank you very much. Appreciate you being here. Twitter, hello. We see you. Good evening. Looking at online marketing, they are kind of the 800-pound gorilla in our industry. And I'm going to draw a parallel here because we own and run EcoMo Lawn and Landscape here in Dallas. We put a tremendous amount of time and effort into optimizing EcoMo. So EcoMo is the top, carries the top position in search engine rankings. So I want to show everybody what EcoMo looks like here. And you guys will see we are dominating our market, to be expected, with 401 keywords. And what's very important to look at here is all of the keywords that we rank for and the position that EcoMo is in. So when you are another competitor in our space for EcoMo, you want to use an application like Ahrefs. We use SEMrush. That is kind of our optimization platform of choice for both EcoMo and Lawn Pro Marketing. And I will share with one here that this is the EcoMo rankings currently. So 401 keywords, traffic's about 214 site visits per month. And then the monthly traffic cost, which is right here, is the estimated average monthly cost to rank for organic keywords in Google Ads. We don't use Google Ads. We have a philosophy in-house of building our rankings for organic purposes because, quite frankly, we'd rather spend our $966 a month on something else, like equipment and other advertising ventures. So we do not spend money on pay-per-click campaigns for both EcoMo or any of our clients with Lawn Pro Marketing. So very important to know that. We're very passionate about what we do. So we are dialed in to organic keyword rankings. Essentially, when you do a search in Google anywhere in the nation, and you go to Google, wherever it is you may be, and type in all electric landscaping company, electric lawn care business, electric landscaping company, electric lawn care company, electric lawn service near me, electric lawn service, electric lawn mowing service, all electric service, etc., you will find that EcoMo is the #1 ranking. 100% organic. Just kind of a quick scroll down here for everybody to just kind of take a look. You will see that EcoMo holds very high rankings amongst our competitors in this particular space. Reason being, we spend a tremendous amount of time optimizing our website to make sure that we have position over everybody else in the industry, and result, we sit on top. So With that being said, Lawn Pro Marketing is a relatively new company. We've basically taken 20 years of experience in this space and rolled out Lawn Pro Marketing back in August of last year. We had done some sites kind of as a side hustle, just to kind of make ends meet while we were ramping up our Ecomo business. Built some sites on the side. I've built sites on the side for the last 20 years for home service industry companies, other landscaping companies, and we decided to go ahead and take the plunge and said, hey, let's launch Lawn Pro Marketing. We've got a lot of great information and a lot of great tools to share with everybody out there. So let's fire this thing up and see what we can't do with it. We have had great success with all of the sites that we've built. Every one of them's dynamic, very functional from the mobile platform. And these guys are seeing some fantastic results from the services that we've been providing. Kind of a different company we are, because we don't just build sites for our clients and then forget about them. We spend a lot of time optimizing sites, crawling our sites against competitors to make sure that everybody's ranking. So interesting discovery. We were doing an exercise early this week rather. And we were comparing our business against Lawn Care Web Design, which is Mike Andy's outfit. Great guy, great company. And also we were comparing ourselves against Lawnline.marketing. So Lawnline is kind of the 800-pound gorilla in the industry. For those of you that were at Equip, you've probably seen them before. They primarily work with 7-figure companies, and they're very good at what they do. They've been around for a long time. So that's a good thing for us. It's a good thing for you guys that are in your space. It is a good thing to study what the competition is doing, because it can help educate you as far as what tools, methods that you can take to increase your own market share. So rather than just kind of coming up with keywords out of the thin air and just creating your own words and building a website and hoping that your site is going to be top in rankings, when you go in and you study and their keywords, you will begin to understand the kind of business that your competitor is generating revenue from. So if you're a lawn care company and you have multiple service lines in your business, say for instance, you do shrub cleanups, or you do hardscape installs, or you do landscape lighting, or whatever the case may be, I encourage you to look in your town, who the competitors are, and do some research on your competition and figure out where these companies are ranking and why. There might be other companies that do landscape lighting as well. And quite frankly, they may be generating a significant amount more business than you are, despite the fact that you're doing landscape lighting as well. One of the reasons that they are doing more business is because their website may be ranking higher, and people in their town may be searching for landscape lighting in Louisville, Kentucky, and the competition happens to be coming up in a position on Google higher than you. So these are things you want to understand. You want to know where your site ranks. You want to know where you want your site to rank. And then you need to research the competition, Rather than just looking at what their services are, you need to understand how their website is built and what they are optimizing for. So you can go in there and you can start taking position over their key phrases. I preface that by saying online.marketing is not really a competitor of ours. They're a target. We would consider them to be a target, much bigger company than we are at the moment. So we spent a good deal of time going into study what online marketing has been ranking for. We found all kinds of neat stuff. I'm sharing it on the screen here. They're same size as our landscaping company Ecomo is, but clearly they're geared more towards developing websites for seven-figure companies. They do pay-per-click campaigns, search, social media management, etc. I'm absolutely sure they do a really good job. But these are the guys we're coming after. So looking at how these guys are ranking from an organic standpoint, we can see some of the keywords, and I've got it sorted by position right here. So this basically means in Google, when you type in these key phrases right here, this is the current position that this company is ranking for. Online Marketing Tampa, position 1. Here we go. Landscaping Web Design Services, currently sitting in position 2. And there's a whole laundry list of key phrases that online.marketing is ranking for. They've been at it for a while. They've got some domain authority. But when you DIY guys are out there and you're building your own websites, if you're not using us or them or My Candies and Lawn Care Web Design, their company, and you're doing it yourself, this is what you want to look at. You want to look at the keyword difficulty, and you want, that's KD right here, an estimate of how difficult it would be to rank well in organic search results for a particular keyword. The higher the percentage, the harder it is to achieve high rankings for the given keyword. Second to that, you want to study the volume. The volume is the average number of times users have searched for a given keyword per month. We calculate this value over the last 12 months. So basically, they take a 12-month cumulative total of searches and they divide that number by 12. And this number right here is how many times someone searches for that keyword or types that keyword phrase into Google. Now, when you're a small company, you're not going to want to go after keywords that have these high difficult to rank for. Reason being is other established companies that are out there that have domain rank, they've got domain authority, they have multiple instances of using this keyword or key phrase within their content or blog posts or whatever the case may be. And there are thousands of other companies that are also utilizing this same particular key phrase. So I'll give you an example right here. Landscaping Web Design Services, currently sitting in position 2. This is online.marketing. Now, there's only been 20 people that have searched for this, but the keyword difficulty is 51. So it's a very difficult keyword to rank for. So this would not be something that I would recommend anybody would want to use as a key phrase in the content of their website or in their blog posts. Now, with that being said, I'm going to sort by volume. I'll let this load for a second. Okay. So now I'm searching by volume. This basically means I am looking at the high volume searches in Google. You will see, obviously, that the higher the volume searches are in Google, the lower the position that they are going to have because they're difficult to rank for. And Online recognizes this as well. They will continue to funnel content into their site, and eventually their positions will increase. Now, when you're a small business, the recommendation here is, and what we've learned is, you want to start by looking at keyword difficulty. You want to sort by your keyword difficulty. And immediately we've spotted a keyword difficulty of 25. It's in the green right here for tree service leads. Okay. Well, tree service leads is a pretty hefty search volume per month, 260 searches per month. Obviously nothing compared to this web design Tampa, which is 1,000 a month. But of course, web design Tampa could be all kinds of companies that are doing web design, not particularly what we're doing with lawn, landscape, and tree service companies. So, tree service leads happens to be a relatively easy keyword to rank for, and it's a pretty high search volume. So this is going to be the kind of keyword that we're going to tag. So we're going to save that to our keyword list, because what we're going to do is we're going to develop content on our site that is going to utilize this key phrase, tree service leads. Okay. Looking further down, we're going to go to our next rank. When you're a small business, I would recommend targeting keywords, key phrases that are going to be a keyword difficulty of 20 or less. That means you can write content for these sites, or for your own site rather, that contain these key phrases, and you're going to rank. And you want to be able to rank with these relevant key phrases, because when you rank with relevant key phrases, this is what creates domain authority. So when you have domain authority, and Google that if you don't know what it is, we've got some blog posts on our website about what domain authority is. When you have a very high domain authority, okay, you build your domain authority using the easy keywords to rank for. That is how you build domain authority, and through backlinks, of course. Now, we've also got an article on backlinks, but building them organically through ranking with these low, easier to rank for keywords is a priority for small businesses, new businesses trying to get their website started. This is what you want to be looking for. This is what you want to rank for. Okay. So down here, we've also got a relatively easy keyword to rank for, key phrase, lawn care advertising. 210 per month is the average search volume, and the keyword difficulty is 27. Now, somewhat harder than easy. I know it says easy right here, but 27 is, let's not kid ourselves, it's kind of a moderately difficult keyword to rank for, but this is saying easy. We'll go with what it's saying. It's green. These are the kind of things we want to go after. Next one we see on the list is a Gracie Apollo Beach. Yep, not interested in that. It's not something we want to rank for. Okay. So this brings me to what we discovered about online marketing in the last week. Here we have a keyword. The key phrase is tree service marketing. Okay. And the search volume is 140. So pretty substantial search volume compared to some of these other keywords that they've got out there. but the keyword difficulty is only 10. So it's an easy keyword to rank for. Lawn Pro Marketing, to this day, has only done lawn and landscape company websites. We've got 10 of them now under management. And there is absolutely no reason why Lawn Pro Marketing can't build sites for tree services. Same thing. I mean, it really is. And that's just something you may want to consider as a lawn and landscaping company. The services that you offer. Ecomo, for instance. When we started our business, we were just doing lawn mowing. We were mowing lawns. And then we expanded our service lines into shrub cleanups, hardscape, landscape installation, design, landscape design and installation. Then we got into mosquito fogging. So these are additional service lines that Ecomo now offers. And we were able to promote those services both through doing the service themselves, and we were utilizing our website to promote those services. So when you Google organic or all natural mosquito fogging or organic mosquito fogging, particularly in the Dallas area, because that's where we are, we're ranking in the #1 position because it's an easy keyword to rank for. So we went after it. We knew it. We knew we would deliver good service, and we knew we'd be able to market the service through our website because we could immediately take position in Google. And I'll be able to show that to you guys in a little bit. But this was our discovery. Our discovery is online marketing, which we did not know, is doing a tremendous amount, or at least marketing a lot toward tree service companies. Well, we build badass websites, so there's absolutely no reason why we couldn't build one for a tree service company. Fascinated by the business. Watch a lot of Instagram videos of these guys out there taking trees down and stuff. I love it. They're brave. I'm afraid of heights too, so maybe that's why I'm more fascinated by it. So tree service marketing. So that got us thinking, these guys are marketing towards tree service companies. They happen to be dominating in tree service website design from a ranking perspective. So let me show you what I mean. Add these few keywords to my saved list here for Lawn Pro Marketing. And I've got their keywords here. That's their positions. And let's look at, I'm going to filter by keyword here. So if you were a landscaping company and you wanted to look at your competition, this would be where you would put in something like power washing. If you're a lawn and landscape company and you are, oh, hey, what's up, Boneyard? How you doing, man? Say hey to Boneyard real quick. So if you are a lawn and landscape company and you are looking at your competition and you want to get into power washing or hardscape installation or landscape lighting installation, you want to go to your software and you want to see how your competition is ranking online in that particular service line. It's kind of what we're doing here. It's a parallel for what Lawn Pro Marketing is doing here. We're looking at our competition, which in this case, we're not competition for them. Online marketing is a huge company, but they're our target, right? This is what we are building our business. We want to build our business to be equally, we want to we will have the market share that online marketing has. We're young. We're a small company right now, but we're also very strategic in our marketing campaign. So we know how to go after this business, and we want to go after the tree business as a company. A lot of opportunity there for us, just like for our landscaping company, Ecomo. There's a lot of opportunity for us to do organic mosquito fogging, and that's exactly what we did last year, and we absolutely crushed it as a service line. So we're looking at lawn line marketing, and we know now through comparing 5 different companies that do what Lawn Line does. Lawn Care Web Design, that's Mike Andy's outfit. There's us. There's a couple other companies that are out there. They're doing websites, SEO, etc. And the theme that came out of this for us is lawn line marketing is dominating the tree market now, or at least they're dominating the online presence of marketing towards tree companies. So it caused us to look at lawn line, and we're going to drill down now by the keyword tree that lawn line marketing has been ranking for. And this is what we discovered was absolutely incredible, because they have a significant amount of tree keyword and key phrases that they're using in their website. And when you go to their website and you study their website like we did, we began to see that they have a very strong push toward marketing their business towards tree service companies. And nobody else does until now, because we found out. And we found out because we were able to compare the different companies and theme it up, and figured out these guys are pulling in a ton of business in the tree service industry, or at least they're dominating the online market in tree services. So they're currently using 38 key phrases in their website specific to trees. And we'll start with them. They're currently in position 3 for tree service web design. So when you go to Google anywhere in the United States, might be global, but it is at least the US, and you Google tree service web design, position 3, you will see lawnline.marketing. I'll give you one more example. When you Google tree service website design, which is an alternate of tree service web design, because these guys know what they're doing, they are in position 5. And we'll look at one more. Tree service digital marketing, position 9. Okay. And the one I was fascinated by, particularly because of search volume. Now, if this is the search volume category again, you can see only 20 people per month on average Google tree service web design. Well, the keyword difficulty of it is only 6. So this is a very easy key phrase to rank for. If you're any company that's out there, this is a very, two articles, 2 blog posts will outrank online.marketing utilizing this key phrase, tree service web design, because keyword difficulty is 6 is nothing. Anything that's 20 or less, Lawn Pro Marketing can come in and we can dominate that particular key phrase with 2 blog posts and a little bit of rewriting of some content to make it fit this particular keyword. So we like to call this low-hanging fruit. The second one is tree service web design, was only a keyword ranking of 4. So again, a very, very easy key phrase to rank for. So here's the thing that I found interesting when we were studying this information, and that is the volume, the search volume was pretty low, right? So only 20 people per month searching for tree service web design on average. These are the annual averages. So the average number of times users have searched for a given keyword per month. We calculate this value over the last 12 months. Again, just to kind of recap this, what they do is they take 12 months of previous data, cumulative data, and they divide that number by 12. And this is the average number of times someone searches for tree service web design, and it's only 20. So what we found fascinating in our research is when we kind of scroll down here a little bit, we found tree service marketing. Pretty legit key phrase, in my opinion. Kind of fits in line with our business, what we do. We're a marketing company. We found the key phrase, or discovered the key phrase rather, that they were using, called tree service marketing. And what we learned is this: two things. First of all, we learned that it's an easy keyword to rank for. Keyword difficulty is only 10. So the phrase is an easy keyword to rank for. Second to that, we discovered the search volume is 140 per month. So what that means is that tree service marketing is searched on 7 times more than tree service web design. Tree service web design has an average monthly search volume of 20 with a keyword difficulty of 6. Tree service marketing is searched on 140 times a month with a keyword difficulty of 10. So straight math is going to tell you here that tree service marketing is the key phrase that you want to build your content around. And you want to build your content around that, in our case, because it's searched on 7 times more. And it's only got a 4-point differential on the keyword difficulty. So again, still a very easy keyword to rank for. So when you're deciding, what should I write? What do I need to write my blog post for? Because I mean, you could write your blog post towards anything. You can write your blog post towards things that you want to write about. But when you study what you can rank for, then that kind of helps steer you in the direction of what kind of content you want to write. In this case, we know we want to start funneling in content to Lawn Pro Marketing for tree service marketing. We want to write a blog post about tree service marketing. So guess what? It's exactly what we did. Share it with you. 2 things. We wrote an article for tree service website design, because we're going to go in there. We're going to take this position over from Lawnline Marketing and keep these guys on their toes. And then second to that, we also wrote an article, which is a very keyword rich article utilizing the key phrase tree service marketing. Probably the next one that we'll be going after here is advertising tree service and tree service advertising, because both of those have a very high search volume and a relatively easy keyword difficulty. So these are the things we want to go after. So just a quick reminder: tree service website design, position 4, which is the lowest of the low-hanging fruit, and tree service marketing, which is a very high search volume compared to the rest, and a relatively easy key phrase to rank for. So bouncing over to our website here. Let's share that. And let's do this. Okay. So this is our website. And what we've done is, let's take a look at our blog. Our blog's really cool. So for lawn and landscape guys that are out there, we got a lot of free stuff in here. I mean, you guys want to use us to do your website, do your search engine optimization. We would love to have you as a client. We love what we're doing. But I also know that I ran a landscaping company. I still run a landscaping company. But when we first got that thing going, I did it all myself. And I know there are a lot of people out there that are doing it yourselves, and that's great. There's a lot of really useful information in the blog here that will help you if you're the DIY person and you're using WordPress or Wix to build your website. So they're really useful stuff in here. So what we did is we created a couple articles. Here's a couple blog posts that we published. And I'm going to come back here. I hear a barking dog, so I'm going to hit pause right quick and see if I can't figure this out. All right, I'm back. Wow, had a dog barking. Youngest son having a sleepover. Bunch of kids. What's up, Boneyard? I hope you're doing good, man. Boneyard. Show these overlays on here. Might make our screen too small. I would. I think I can do that. Yeah, I can do that right there. What you know? Okay. All right. So looking at our site right here, again, I kind of want to recap that those were our two kind of target key phrases that we were using: tree service website design and tree service marketing. Those are things we're looking at. We want to provide some content, some informational content for tree service marketing, just kind of top level stuff. We're not experts in tree service marketing, but we're experts in marketing. There might be some useful information that these guys can get from our blog post. So looking at this, here we go. The very first article that we published, both of these were published yesterday. We staggered them out. We did one Wednesday and one on Thursday, or one Thursday and one Friday. I can't remember. And the very first one that we did is 6 steps to a winning tree service website design. Okay. That was our key phrase. Well, we know by studying the key phrase through SEMrush in our case, that tree service web design and tree service website design, they're pretty easy to rank for. If you've got a key phrase like our landscaping company, Ecomo, does organic mosquito fogging, and it's a keyword difficulty of like 5, you only really need to write one article, maybe 2, that are going to have a dense a saturation rather of this particular key phrase in your article. And I'm going to walk you through what that looks like in WordPress. So if you're using WordPress, we'll dig into that in a second. So we wrote this article, 6 steps to a winning tree service website design. Title of the article, it's just an informational article, but we've got some important things that I want to make sure that everybody understands that you want to incorporate in your blog posts. So first of all, we've got our key phrase, tree service website design. We've got some photos here. We got these from Shutterstock. If you don't have a Shutterstock account, you don't have a really good, we didn't have any photos of like guys in trees, cutting trees down. We have some for Ecomo, but we didn't want to use them in here. So we've got a Shutterstock account that we get clients that are like, I want you to build my website, but I don't have any pictures. And we end up using Shutterstock to kind of fill in the gaps, provide some appealing photos until such time as those can be replaced by someone's own photos. So then we've got our title of the article, Tree Service Web Design. I'm sorry, this was our title up here, Tree Service Website Design. Then we're into our first paragraph. Starting a tree service business can be an exciting venture, but it's also a lot of hard work. An appealing tree service website design. There it is again, showing the relevance. You want to use the title of the article in the first paragraph. I want to repeat that because it's very important when you're writing a blog. You title your article, Tree Service Website Design, or 6 Steps to a Tree Service Website Design. You absolutely want to use that title of the article in the first paragraph of the article. Okay, and I'll show you why later. So then we're into the 6 steps to a winning tree service website design. We go through about talking about choose a domain, just the stuff that somebody starting a tree service website would want to know. And they don't, you can go Google it somewhere and you will get the information. The idea is we want to be kind of a library, go-to library for an all-in-one stop, if you will. So step 2, talking about choosing a CMS, which softwares to use to build your website. We plugged in another cool photo, design your tree service website. Also very important. What we have done here is in this particular paragraph, you can use a pre-made template or create your own design from scratch. And then we throw in our suggestive language, which is what you want to do as a company. So if you're a landscaping company and you're sharing some information about when is the right time to water or when is the right time to fertilize a property, you're going to want to embed these internal links. The pros here at LPM would be happy to help to provide a quote for your design. Now, it's kind of difficult to see for whoever it is that's watching, but provide a quote is actually an internal link. And when you click on provide a quote, it will take you to our website design page. So these are called internal links. And when you're writing a blog post, you want to have at least 2 internal links. This is one. Write your website content, talking about the best way to write your website content. It's got some good pictures. Step 5, we're into optimizing your tree service website. Again, for search engines, once your website's complete, you want to optimize it. We have created an internal link for optimize it, and that is going to drive traffic to our SEO services page. So people can look at our SEO services page and learn about our search engine optimization services. Back to the article. And then lastly, launch your tree service website. So kind of just a top level blog post. There's not really anything intense about doing it. It's not super there's not a lot of like super detailed information that's in here, but it's useful because we need to take the perspective that there are people that have never done this before. They have absolutely no idea what it is that they need to do. So we will continue to build out content specific to tree service website design. But this is kind of like an introduction article, if you will. And then we've got this cool photo that we've used. You you do want to make sure that your photos are relevant kind of to the content that you're talking about. In this case, launch your tree service website. Once you've completed all the steps, it's time to launch your site. Congratulations. Then we show a rocket flying out of a computer, right? So it's a relevant photo. And then down here, we've got a little conclusion section, and then contact us when you need support. This is a cut and paste that we use from all of our blog posts. You will see this on the bottom of every one of our blog posts. So when you're creating new blog posts in your website, you're going to want to just copy that, or you can clone a post, rewrite the content in the post, but save this little section right here at the end. And this little section here at the end has got another link to our SEO packages, website packages, and a link to our contact page. So now looking at this, I want to dive into optimizing a blog post. So we've written this blog post. We've got this blog post built. It's on our website. We're going after organic mosquito fogging, or, tree or shrub cleanup. I don't know, Louisville, Kentucky. In this case, we're going after tree service website design. So how do we optimize this? How do we make sure that everything is right to show up in Google and that everything is in line? So here's what we do. In this case, we're working in WordPress, which is like 5 million websites are built in WordPress. We prefer to build in WordPress. We build sites in just about everything, but WordPress is pretty easy to use. Good stuff. So looking at the back end of our website, it's the title of our article, 6 Steps to a Winning Tree Service Website Design. This is my phrase. This is what I'm going after. Tree service website. I want to bounce back over here to this page right here. Okay, so we bounce back over to SEMrush, and tree service website design. Again, keyword difficulty is 4. Easy keyword to rank for. Search volume is only 20. It is what it is, but it's very low hanging fruit for us. And tree service website design is the key phrase that these guys are currently sitting in top 5 position for until we come in and bump them out, and then they'll be in position 6. And it will happen. We've already done it, so it will probably happen in a matter of, I don't know, 10 days. 2 weeks would be my guess before we knock them out of that position. So here is our phrase, tree service website design. And we are now going to make sure that we have this article optimized. The meta information, the structure of the article, the appropriate word count of the article, making sure that we have internal links, making sure that our images have been optimized and they have the appropriate alt tags. A lot of factors go into optimizing a blog post to make sure that that Google loves it. And we're very good at this. So I want to kind of walk everybody through what this looks like when you're doing your own blog posts. Again, I'll scroll back up here. We've got the title of our article, 6 Steps to a Winning Tree Service Website Design. So we have here what's called a focus key phrase. Using WordPress, we use the Yoast plugin. It's a free plugin for WordPress. So when you go to your WordPress main area, you will see the plugin section, and you can go in to add a new plugin, and you can search up Yoast, Y-O-A-S-T. You can install that plugin and you can activate it. And then you too will have the Yoast SEO, which is what you see right here. And essentially, the Yoast plugin will identify everything that's in your page or your article, and it will tell you, okay, first things first, we need to establish a focus key phrase. So that's basically telling Yoast, okay, this is what I want to optimize for. I want to optimize the page for tree service website in this particular case. Realized I didn't have everybody switched over, but I'm back. I'm bringing the screen back over to you, and here you go. So we want to make sure that we've got our key phrase, which again, in this case is, come on over here. Let's get over here. Here we go. All right. That just drove me nuts. All right. Didn't switch over. But anyway, here we are. And so we are, again, 6 Steps to a Winning Tree Service Website Design. That's our article. We've established our key phrase, which is tree service website. And we want to build out our SEO title. So our title, as you can see right now, we built this out to say tree service website design - lawn pro marketing. Very important. Always put the title of the article or the title of the page before the name of your company. It matters. Okay. I want to repeat that. SEO title first, and then the name of your company. Okay. That's the title of our article, Tree Service Website Design. Our focus key phrase is tree service website. The slug. The slug is the URL of your page. And you can change this to whatever you want it to be. But you want it to be consistent with your focus key phrase or the title of your article. Sit right here. This is what this search looks like on Google. It says Lawn Pro Marketing. The slug, which is the URL of the article, says Tree Service Website Design. You want the slug to be the same as either your key phrase or your SEO title. Just the name of the article. Don't include Lawn Pro Marketing in your slug. Because Lawn Pro Marketing is already in there. See, it says lawnpromarketing.com right here, / tree service website design. That's my slug. You want your slug to match the title of your article. Lastly is the meta description. That is when you Google it, we've all seen it. There's a short description about what the page is about, and you need to have the focus key phrase or the SEO title in the meta description. Okay, so in this case, the meta description says starting a tree service business can be an exciting venture. A well-designed tree service website will help you reach more customers. That's it. We're not filling it full of keywords and commas, and I brought this up before. We take on sites from people, and they're like, we look at their meta descriptions, and it's just keyword, comma, keyword, comma, keyword, comma, and I'm like, no. You just don't do it. Write a compelling description in your meta description that people are going to want to read. Is this compelling? I don't know. Not really. Starting a tree service business can be an exciting venture. A well-designed tree service website will help you reach more customers. I wouldn't necessarily say it's compelling, but it's certainly straight to the point. It's short. And most importantly, it contains our focus key phrase, tree service website. You absolutely have to include your focus key phrase or your SEO title in the meta description. You absolutely need to include the focus key phrase or the SEO title in the meta description. Okay. So I'm going to tab this thing open right here. This is basically the analysis. This will open up all of the different things about this article that are either right, wrong, need improvement, etc. We went through an exercise. We optimized this 2 days ago. We did a YouTube live optimizing this, and it didn't turn out good. Yeah, it just didn't stream well. So anyway, I'll go back through here. Obviously, everything is green. Normally, it would not look like this. I can give you an example of things we can do to kind of screw it up. Here we go. See how I made the meta description too long. It's now turned this bar into orange, and we now have a improvement opportunity in here, and it says meta description length. The meta description is over 156 characters. To ensure the entire description will be visible, you should reduce the length. We know that because we got this little orange bar right here. So when we're optimizing for Yoast, we're writing our meta description. We want to keep that bar green. Same thing with the SEO title. We want to keep it in the green zone. Everything down here is green because we have optimized this thing. So everything on this article is 100% optimized. There's not a single thing on this article that is missing. Nothing. Now we can go add more content to the article and optimize that content. That's great. But for the article that I've shared with everyone, everything has been optimized. And I want to walk you through what those items are that you want to make sure that you're optimizing for. And I will start from the top and work my way down, and then we will wrap up this session and save it and bounce into another one tomorrow. So good results. We've got 15 items in Yoast. Obviously you guys can see everything is green. Little green smiley faces the entire way down. When we first plugged this article in, I think we had about 5 opportunities. And, one is we didn't have alt tags attached to images. Another one was we didn't have the key phrase in the first paragraph, which is what I mentioned earlier. So I want to kind of walk through top down on Yoast what these opportunities are. This is your Yoast plugin is going to say the exact same thing when you do an article, and it's going to show things that are in orange, and it's going to show things that are in red. And the idea is to tweak your content out until you've got everything in the green zone, everything in the green. Okay. So outbound links, we know this. We've got some outbound links in the site. We've got our image key phrase. So image key phrase, what is that? Well, I'm going to show you. Let me open up another tab here for us. Give me just a second here. I'm going to go back to the article. I'm going to have a couple tabs open for us. Streaming on Restream tonight, different platform. So I'm going to have to learn it. Looks like I can't show 2 windows at the same time, which is absolutely ridiculous, but it is what it is. So here we go. So that opportunity was an image key phrase. Well, what is an image key phrase? Okay. I'm going to show you what an image key phrase is. So these are the images in the site, or in the page rather, in the blog post. And these images need key phrases or alt tags We've got some information in another blog post, a few different blog posts, kind of giving a little bit more of a thorough description on what an alt tag is. Just know that it is basically alternative for an image. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. So I'm going to load my Elementor, which is kind of the live editor for the content in this blog post. Here's my first image. I'm just going to give a couple examples. I'll do 2 of them, and then we'll get back over to the SEO stuff. I'm going to click on one of my images, and it's going to go over here. It's going to load my little sidebar editor. So I got my photo in here. I'm going to click on my photo. I'm going to hit the edit button. The edit button is going to load the image. It's loading the image. Now, right up here, I'm going to take that out just for now so everybody can see. It's loaded the image, and the first thing that comes up on here says alternative text, alt text. That is the same thing as an image key phrase, synonymous with image key phrase. You want to have a key phrase for your image that is consistent with the focus key phrase. And our focus key phrase, for those of you that remember, it is either tree service website design or tree service website. So we want to assign an alt text to that image saying tree service website design. Okay, so I got that plugged in there. Alternative text for that image is tree service website design. So what does that mean? Well, what that means is when you go to Google, and you'd have to give it a couple weeks to show up, but when you go to Google and you Google tree service website design and you look for images, not pages or shopping or videos or whatever the case may be, and you just look at search by images, this image will show up. So that's what alternative text is for an image. When you go to Google, you search on a phrase, you search by images, this is the image that will show up for tree service website design. And further, that image is consistent with the title of our article. And that's what you want. That's what we're after, is consistency with the content. My next image right here. Let's go down to it. You guys will see. I go to my edit, and the alternative text, alt text for this image is tree service website design. Again, when you go to Google and you Google tree service website design, this image shows up. It matches the title of the article, and it matches the content in the article. Now you can go in here after you get a couple of them in there, and you can start kind of feathering in some alternates for those keywords. So we've already got 2 in there that say exactly what the article is. Now we want to look at our third one. So we know this, having done research on feathering in new alternate keywords. So we went down to this next image, which was the 3rd image in the article. We're still using tree service website design, but we've now feathered in the keyword best. So now we're utilizing best tree service website design. So when somebody Googles best tree service website design, this is the image that's going to show up. It's also important to know that when you're using 4 or more keywords, this is called a long tail key phrase. Obviously, the short key phrases are very difficult to rank for because of internet saturation. But when kind of the new movement now is people going after these long tail key phrases. These are going to be like the long searches that you would type into Google, or you would type into Chat GPT or whatever. If you haven't used Chat GPT and you're anything like me, I usually type in like 10 things in my search phrase for Chat GPT. It's basically the same philosophy, the same kind of strategy here. We know we're going to dominate. When you go to best tree service website design, this is probably the image that you will see, the very first image you will see here in a couple weeks after everything's been indexed. And then moving on down, we got our little SEO picture. Can't recall which alternate we used here. Yeah, just tree service website. So bouncing back over here to the content, that was the image key phrase. Images says good job. We obviously showed you guys that. We've got images in the site. Internal links. For Yoast, you absolutely want to be, you want to use internal links. This particular article is 641 words. 2 internal links would be sufficient. If you've got an article that is 1,000 words or more, not a bad idea to potentially plug in, maybe 3 or 4 internal links if the opportunity presents itself. So kind of bouncing back over here again, looking at what those internal links are. Here we go. Looking at the website. And here's an internal link right here for provide a quote. So that is going to be actually a link to our website services. If you're a lawn and landscaping company and you are writing a blog article about how best to maintain your garden, and you happen to provide garden services, this would be a good section for you to say something along the lines of what we have here, and that is the pros here at LPM would be happy to provide a quote for your design, and that would link to one of the internal pages on your website. Again, the idea here is to keep people on your site as long as you possibly can. Internal links are highly effective to do that. Back over here to my optimization panel. We've got our key phrase in the introduction. Now, this is very important. I went over this and said this twice. Our key phrase, you guys will remember, our key phrase was tree service website. Key phrase in the introduction. Okay. Get back over here to the article itself. I'm going to go to the introductory section here, the first paragraph of the article. Starting a tree service business can be an exciting venture, but it's also a lot of hard work. An appealing tree service website design can help you reach more customers and grow your business. Okay. I want to repeat that. It is incredibly important to use the key phrase in the first paragraph of your article. I can't tell you how many times we've looked at people's blog posts and they do not have this. If you do not have this, it is improper structure in a blog. A blog has a proper structure. It's got the title, which is an H1 heading. This title right here is an H1 heading. Then we've got an H2 heading, which is here. It's basically a subtitle of the article. And then we've got our content, which is, in this case, it's paragraph content. So what this shows is it shows consistency in the flow of your article. And this is what Google wants to see. They want to see consistency, that your article has been structured properly, where you have a title, you got a subtitle, you got the body, and you've got all of your focus key phrase appropriately set up to where it has that perfect flow, that perfect structure. can't drive that home enough. Had to bounce back over to this. That was our key phrase in the introduction. And now here we have key phrase in our SEO title. We absolutely, that's kind of a non-negotiable. You need to have your key phrase in the title of the article. So don't write an article about 6 steps to winning a tree service website and then use a different title for your article. You don't want to do that. It probably won't even get indexed, and you will have wasted all of your time writing this great article about 6 steps to building a great tree service website. And then you think you want to get creative and like try to sprinkle in other keywords and use a different keyword for your SEO title. And then lo and behold, you look at it in a month's time and you're like, wow, why isn't my article showing up in Google? Well, 9 times out of 10, this is why. Because you thought you were being smart by using a different title, and now it doesn't even show up. So your key phrase needs to be in your title. The title of the article needs to be in the SEO title of the page, the blog post. Period. Okay. That's key phrase and SEO title. The exact match of the focus key phrase appears at the beginning of the SEO title. Good job. That's what it says. Yes. Good job. Key phrase length. Went over that. Key phrase length. It's not too long. 3 keywords. You can I think you can get like 4 out of a focus key phrase. But the only thing is, if you use a big long focus key phrase, then you have to use that same focus key phrase everywhere else. You have to use it in the title of the article. You have to use it in the first paragraph of the article. You have to use it in your meta description. And when you have a really, really, really long phrase, it becomes pretty difficult to use like 5 or 6 word key phrase with consistency throughout your article. So for instance, if my focus key phrase was tree service website designed for success, right? If it was that, then I would have to use that phrase, tree service website designed for success, everywhere. I'd have to use it in the title. I'd have to use it like 3 or 4 times in the article. I would have to use that in the meta description, and it would just, first of all, it's very difficult to do. Second of all, it would look weird. Like if you were reading an article and it said tree service website designed for success like 5 times in an article, would you be like, this is strange? I mean, why does this guy keep repeating tree service website designed for success? So keep it short, 3 words, maybe 4. That's going to be more effective for you, and it's also going to read better, and it's going to be less of a pain in the ass. The key phrase length is good. That's what we went over. Key phrase density. In this particular case, our focus key phrase was found 9 times in the article. Kind of pushing the envelope there, in my opinion. I would say with a 641 word article, I would recommend no more than kind of 6 times of your key phrase. It's debatable, but if you utilize the focus key phrase too many times in your article, it's what's called over optimization. Basically, it's interpreting saying you're trying to use this keyword key phrase too many times in your article. You're trying to spam Google into providing you with rank, and Google's very smart about that. If you are over optimizing and you are just like, you got the focus key phrase in there 15 times, Google's not even going to crawl it, or they will take one look at it. The crawler will take one look at it and it will not index it. So do not over optimize. Keep it minimal, 4 or 5 times is sufficient. 9 times, like I said here, it shows up 9 times. Yoast is saying it's still green. Yoast is actually saying this is great. I know from experience that's questionable. 9 times is a little much for me. So probably going to go back in here and clean this thing up and bring that back down into 7 times, just so we're not, pushing the envelope there. Key phrases in the meta description. Talked about that earlier. Here's the meta description right here. Starting a tree service business can be an exciting venture. Well-designed tree service website will help you reach more customers. Tree service website right here. Utilizing the key phrase in our meta description. Meta description length, well done. Again, you've got that indicator here when you're using the Yoast plugin. Show you guys what it looks like. Again, type it too long, you're going to get this error right here. Orange, meta description is over 156 characters. Want to keep your meta description pretty short. Don't overdo it. 156 characters is all you need. Previously used key phrase. Basically, that means, did I use this key phrase on any other pages and or blog posts? Tree service website is my focus key phrase. So for instance, I've only used this one time because I haven't used this key phrase anywhere else. But when we go in and we write another article that is along the same topic of tree service website design, we do not want to use this same key phrase again. You only want to use the key phrase one time per page or per blog post, because if you don't, or if you use the same key phrase twice, you're going to optimize 2 different pages for the same content, and the likelihood of both pages or both blog posts getting indexed has dropped like significantly. So you do want to make sure that you're using different key phrases for every blog post or every page that's on your website. The key phrases in the slug, I mentioned that earlier. Tree service website design, that is in our slug. That's the actual URL. So the page itself says lawnpro-marketing.com/tree/service, etc. You do want to have the title in the slug. Very important. And then key phrase in the subheading. So 2 of your H2 and H3 subheadings reflect the topic of your copy. Good job. So what that means is, and there's a couple other blog posts that we have giving a little bit more detailed description about H1, H2, H3 through H7 headings. That's kind of like setting up the proper flow. I mentioned it earlier about having the title, and then about having the subtitle, and then as they progress throughout the page, these are subheadings. So an H1 heading up here, tree service website design, and then we got tree service web design. So that's an H2 heading. I'll show you guys what I mean. It's right over here. See it over here? It says heading 2. Got it? Very important from a structure, from a readability structure. So Google sees this and they're like, wow, this is a very well structured article. It's got a title. It's got a subtitle. It's consistent with the title. And then you got the content right here. And then you're down in here to the next section, which is basically recapping the title of the article. But this is also set up in an H3 heading. Got it? That's an H2 up here, tree service website design. And then this 6 steps to a winning tree service website design is an H3 heading, so on and so forth. I don't believe we have anything beyond an H3 heading, but that's why we have the green on our key phrase. I'm sorry. Yes, key phrase and subheading. 2 of Your H2, H3 subheadings reflect the topic of your copy. Consistency. That's what makes the difference. Some people just come in and they're just like slapping stuff on the page. You want to. I mean, we slap stuff on the page when we write the article, but you later have to go back and you have to clean these things up. You got to optimize these things. You got to add your titles right. You got to have consistency with your metas, your structure. The structure has to be correct. Otherwise, this stuff's not going to rank. Text length is 641 words in this particular article. Most of the articles that we write are in that 800 to 1200 words. I would not recommend anything less than 400 words. 641 is a little low, quite honestly. This may be an article that we would want to look at once we learn more about the tree service industry and building a tree service website and the steps to tree service winning website. We may want to add some content to this thing in the future. We're good right now. The tool says 641 words. Good job. Again, I want to recap that. Most of the time, I'd be looking at about 800 words for your blog posts. Make them as big as you want. Just don't make them less than 400 words. You're going to run into these errors. If this was a 380 word article, instead of it being green, it would be orange. Yoast would say, hey, you need to add content to your page. And then lastly, the SEO title width. Good job. Again, that's right here. Always recommend just keep it short. SEO titles, I mean, I see it all the time. People are just like thinking that if they put a whole bunch of words in their title that like Google's going to index it. It's going to see like big, super long phrases. You don't want to do that. Just put your title in there, call it good, leave it up to the quality of your content to drive people to your site. Leave it up to the compelling information in your meta description that's going to make people want to click on it. Don't overdo the title. This right here is almost too long for me. The only reason it's a little long is because we include our company name at the end of every title. I think our company name's kind of long, but it is what it is. But yeah, just keep that short and sweet. The title. Nobody wants to read along, and it's not helpful. So, in fact, if anything, it's more discouraging than anything else. So that's kind of a fully optimized blog post. You guys can see that everything on there is absolutely just optimized to the fullest, and that is exactly what we want. So I want to give you a quick look at one more article, and then we'll wrap it up. Oops, let me hit save right here. I don't know why I'm saving, because all I felt like was we were reviewing. Maybe I changed something and I'm going to have to go back. It is what it is. Thanks, Boneyard, man. I appreciate you, bud. Okay, and so that was the winning tree service website design. Lastly, our low-hanging fruit, which was the one that I mentioned back here, which was, where did that go? Yeah, it's tree service marketing. Yeah, tree service marketing right here. This was the other one we went after, only because it's an easy keyword to rank for. It's got 7 times the search volume as the first article that we wrote. And at 140 searches per month versus 20 searches per month, I'm like, man, we got to tackle this. This is one we could take over, because they're ranking right now. Lawnline is ranking at position 25. We know that probably 2 articles on our blog will put us top 10, immediately placing us above online marketing. So, tree service marketing. So, absolutely an opportunity for us. So, what did we do? Well, we did exactly what we said we were going to do, and that is we wrote a blog post for tree service marketing, and it's right here. Tree service marketing tips. You betcha. And lo and behold, we made a very sweet article. Spent a lot of time on this, did a lot of research on it. Uh, Great information, good photos, talking about developing your brand, creating a website. Of course, we got our internal links for hiring. If you're not comfortable designing your own website, consider hiring a professional website designer. Well, that's an internal link to our website design page, which is exactly what we want. So if you're a landscaping company and you're writing an article about proper fertilization techniques and what types of fertilizer to use, and maybe suggestive. The sentence says, if you need help from a professional company to handle your fertilization, click here, kind of thing. And you're driving now internal traffic to your page that's on your website about fertilization. And we do it with EcoMo, our company, all the time. So the EcoMo blog is absolutely massive. And believe me, it's very helpful. It's very useful. It's the exact same thing. We are providing information for people to do stuff themselves, right? But we're also providing links and suggestive links within the articles that are driving business back to services that we offer. Okay. So if anybody's listening, I mean, look at the Ecomo website, look at how we are strategically using our internal links. I mean, you can look at it here, but if you want to compare apples to apples and you want to look at a lawn and landscaping company and how a lawn and landscaping company is using a blog to drive internal traffic to their service lines in their website, Ecomo is going to be a great example for you. Go there and look at the click on the blog. I won't talk about Ecomo too much because we're on LPM tonight. So this is the article that we wrote. And again, suggestive back to SEO services, networking with other businesses. Good opportunity here for driving outbound links to organizations, maybe for an opportunity to get a backlink. We've got some articles on our blog about how to get backlinks. That's basically a link from another website. And people do it all the time. You guys probably see or get emails from, I don't know, everybody in the world like we do about how they just do backlinks and whatever. I don't think it's worth hiring a company to do your backlinks. I think that most of us can establish a relationship with somebody. So if our business has a relationship with a certain rock or stone company in town, and we work with 3 or 4 different stone companies in town, I might want to call that stone company that has a website and say, hey, I'd like to share a backlink with you guys. I'd like to, in my next article that I'm going to write, it's all about hardscaping, and I want to share a link to your company in that article, talking about the different products that we use. And that link is going to send people to your page so they can learn about who you are, where we buy our materials, what kinds of materials you have, etc. What I'm asking from you, XYZ company or Allied Stone or whomever it is a link back to us. And there is some opportunity there. So reach out to us if you want to explore that. We've got some good suggestions on how to dig up some backlinks. Hear my dog barking again. Okay, so here's the article. Pretty good article. And then lastly, the last section was ask for referrals. And yeah, so I do want to look at that right quick. And then looking at the optimization process for it. Again, here's Yoast. I'm not going to dig into this, but you guys will see that we basically have our same key phrase, tree service marketing. That's our key phrase. That's our target. That's what we're going after. It's right here. Tree service marketing, right here. 140 on the volume, search volume. Keyword difficulties, easy. So I got this thing optimized, just sweet optimized, just takeover, like bomb takeover. That's my key phrase, tree service marketing. I got it in my SEO title, tree service marketing, then the company name, not the company name first. SEO title first, of the article first, and then your company name. All right, we're back. I'm going to wrap this thing up. Looking again, I do kind of want to just post this here. Oops. What just happened? I lost everything. Okay, here we go. Back. So again, my focus key phrase, tree service website, SEO title, tree service website again is included. I kind of feathered in an extra word, tree service website design. You can do that. Again, the intent is making sure that you have the core key phrase in your tree service website. And then it's in my slug. Again, I can't stress that enough. You want to make sure that your title of your article is the same thing that is in the URL of the article. See it up here. Lawn Pro Marketing, tree service website design. So you got that consistent flow. Meta description, starting a tree service business can be an exciting venture. A well-designed tree service website design. I just realized I'm looking at a different page. Get over here. Hold on a second. Scratch that. Take it back. Tree service marketing. That was it. Here we go. Tree service marketing. Same thing. Same flow. Different example. Same thing. Tree service marketing is my key phrase. Tree service marketing is in my SEO title and then the name of my company. Here's my slug, tree service marketing. In this article, we'll cover the best practices for marketing your tree service business and help you get started on a path to success. Tab of my SEO analysis. Everything 100% correct. Just like we went through on the previous one. Outbound links, image key phrase, images, internal links, key phrase in our introduction, key phrases in the SEO title, key phrase length is correct, key phrase density. In this case, in this article, our focus key phrase was found 5 times. I mentioned before in the previous article, I think it was found 9 times. I feel like that's a little excessive. 5 times is a little bit more uh, acceptable. So we're probably going to go back into that article and remove it a couple times. I don't want to push the envelope with that. You do not want to over optimize. And then key phrases in the meta description. Mention that. It's right up here. And then this key phrase has not been used before. We know that because it's the title of the article is a different article. So we just want to make sure that when we go add more articles to our website, that we're not using the same key phrase again. Create a new key phrase for a new article every time and optimize for that different key phrase. Key phrases in the subheading. That is again about the structure of the page, the H1 heading, that's the title, the H2, H3 subheadings. That can become a little bit tricky. That's a kind of a difficult thing for a lot of people to learn. And that is usually the errors that we find and the mistakes that we find that people make is they just don't have proper structure. It is very important that you have proper structure because if you don't, you will continue to get errors. So we've got some blog posts in our website that kind of detail this a little bit more. If you got questions about that, just reach out, email me, Steven at lawnpromarketing.com or our main email, info at lawnpromarketing, and happy to take a look at your article and give you guys some pointers. It's free. I'm not going to charge you any money to take a look at any of that stuff. So yeah, I want to help. And then the text on this article is 911 words. That's kind of our sweet spot for blog posts is that 800 to 1200 words. 911 words it's ideal. You can make these blog posts really, really, really long. We've got some in other companies that have just like 1,800, 2,000 words. If you're anything like me, anything over 800 words is kind of testing my, or 900 words, or even 1,000 is it's kind of testing my threshold for boredom. So the idea is to make your point, convey the information that you want to make, and drive those internal links, keep people on your website. That's the idea behind this. You want to provide informative content to the people that are reading it. You also want to convey the message that you're an expert in the industry and you want to drive those internal links to the services that you offer. I hope everybody had a good time tonight. This is a lot of fun. I love this stuff. We all do. I know Chris over in Arizona that works with us. He is an expert on this as well. It's a lot of fun. It's great to see these guys that have signed up with us getting some success. I know we've got a lot of wins to share, and it's a lot of fun. We got spring coming up. We've got our own landscaping company too. So we're looking forward to crushing it this year, and hope y'all have a good night. I appreciate you coming, and we'll see you in a couple days. Take care.